Hi, I'm Esther. I'm an author and an inspirational speaker. As Christians, we all have a testimony of some kind. A lot of people were born into a Christian family, and so they've known the Lord all their life. Others met the Lord somewhere along the path in their life's journey. Quite often, they met the Lord because they were at their lowest point. They were struggling and they called out to the Lord for help. But one person's testimony isn't necessarily better than that person who was born into a Christian family. I grew up going to Sunday school. I accepted the Lord at youth camp when I was 13 years old. And it was some years later, I think it was like 21, 9 months pregnant with my first son, when I decided to get baptized. And then it was a number of years later. I was 43, I think, just a couple of years ago, when I rededicated my life to the Lord and I got baptized a second time. And there's a whole story that goes with that, and I share that in my memoir that I published. The title of that is You Were Shy from the Shadows to the Spotlight. But I also did a video that I'll reference in the bottom of this clip, where I give my testimony. And as I was struggling with guilt and grief over my husband's suicide in my early 40s, I was on the floor next to my bed, my typical spot, sobbing and crying out to the Lord. And I heard this little voice say, "Get up and go to church, Esther." I didn't want to, but I obeyed. And the Lord met me that night as I went to church. He answered my prayers in a way that was so obvious you could never say it was not an answer to prayer. I don't believe in coincidences in that way. That night, when I went to church and God answered my prayers, I knew it was the Holy Spirit that had been speaking to me. And I rededicated my life that night. And there was a feeling that came over me that was like, I get it. Now I get it. I felt like I had a relationship with the Lord. Check out the link below where I share my testimony. Hopefully it'll inspire you.